Welcome to Bird Seeds. As always, thank you so much for being here. This is Joe Bird. Sorry for the delay. We got it started on the year, and then I missed a couple episodes here. We traveled for my son's ice hockey team. We went up to Rochester, New York, and then actually went up to Niagara Falls on the Canadian side. That was a blast. So much fun. But just with that being on the holiday weekend, and just the 2 weeks around, it just kind of got totally lost on me. So I apologize for missing content, but we're back at it again. And hopefully we don't have any more gaps this year. But the reality is we probably will, because life is crazy. But yeah, Rochester, amazing. Absolutely love the city and the town and just the whole area in general. Just the right mix of like nothingness and stuff to do. The people were super nice. Had a really good time. We went up a day early so that we could go to Niagara Falls. So we went up Thursday night, got up there, drove through some crazy snowstorm in the mountains in Pennsylvania. But we got there Thursday night. Woke up Friday, went up to Niagara Falls, crossed the border. First time I'd actually done that, so that was really cool. My wife likes to joke that if I'm ever trying to get away with something, or anybody's trying to get away with something, I'm not the one that should be doing it. I was a nervous wreck getting through the border for some reason. I mean, I had nothing to worry about. There's nothing wrong, but for some reason, just the act of that just really kind of got in my head, and I was nervous and actually dropped my passport, and it was pretty funny. But we had a blast, ate some really great poutine. Anytime I travel, I really like to eat and drink local. It's kind of my thing. I don't want to just get the, Miller Lite. I want to get the Molson or whatever it is, Labatt Blue when I'm in, Canada or whatnot, or even more local than that. So had some great poutine up there, went back to the hotel. By that time, the kids, their team members had gotten there, so hung out with them. A lot of fun. Really, really good time. So fast forward, Saturday, we played some hockey games. We actually won both games, which was amazing. And in between, we went to the Genesee Brewery, like Genesee Cream Ale. Great food, great beers. I was actually surprised at the quality of the beer. Genesee's not necessarily known as like a, high-end beer. It's kind of more of the bargain beer. But it was great. The amber that they make for the Amerks, maybe the best amber I've ever had. A lot of fun. Hung out with, family, watched the football game, watched the Washington football team. I really hate calling them the Commanders because that's a terrible name. Try not to keep using the Skins term, but I don't know. Washington football team, let's go with that for the time being. Watched that game, completely blown away by the win against Detroit. Not expecting it all. What a season that's been. Just unreal. And then Sunday, we had two more games. Unfortunately, we lost both those games, but we had a lot of fun. And then we were able to watch the end of the Ravens-Bills game in the hotel bar because the games were coinciding with one of our games. And we did go hang out at a Bills bar in between before the game. That was a lot of fun. Had some of the best wings ever, Rochester-style pizza. Great as well. And watched the Ravens lose, which was a total shocker. The Bills are a great team. But they had it. They had the tie at least, right? It was right there, and they lost it. So, Bills fans were a little bit nuts that night in the hotel. They were just parading through the hotel screaming all night. But other than that, great time. And then woke up to 8 inches of snow on Monday morning while we were trying to get out. It was supposed to be 1 inch overnight. Lake effect kicked in. Woke up to 8 inches of snow. Pretty wild, but my X4 M40i is an absolute champ in the snow. Just was able to just dug the car out and just went and plowed right through the 8 inches of snow. No problem at all. So we're good to go. But what do I want to talk about today? So I'm catching you up on this great weekend we had where we, went to go upstate New York and into Canada with my son, spend a lot of family time, see things we hadn't seen before. That's the kind of stuff I love doing. I love new experiences. I love eating local. I love all that stuff. But what is the actual motivational point of today? And it's the importance of ownership. It's the importance of from the top down to the bottom, right? Think sports. Everybody thinks about the players. That's the most important thing you think about when you think about the team and how good they're going to do. It's all sports. We're going to use football as the analogy because that's what's fresh and that's what we're leading this into. But people always think about the players, the quarterback. My quarterback's better than your quarterback, or my receivers are better than your receivers, or these tight ends are better than these tight ends, or whatever it may be. The offensive line, defensive line, quarterbacks, whatever. And the players are super important. Don't get me wrong. You can only do so much with what you have, right? But let's look at the Washington football team and where they were at for a long time. And then let's look at what happened when they got new ownership. So the ownership changed, right? Starts at the top. The mentality starts at the top and works its way down. Everything the owner does, everything the leaders in that company and entity do, work its way down through the rest of it. set a good example up top, have high standards up top. Those standards and excellence will trickle down. So then the new owners come in, get rid of Snyder. Thankfully, finally, there was nothing that made me more happy than to see how upset he was at how good the Washington football team had been doing since his exit. Great. Good riddance. See you later. Don't call again. Lose my number. But, we have new ownership. New ownership hires new GMs, that aren't just yes men or yes women, or what I guess it was probably just yes men, but not isolating. Dan Snyder would just hire people that would say yes to him. That's all he cared about. They didn't put up a fight. They just said, whatever, you're the smartest man in the room, Dan Snyder, whatever you want to do, we agree with it. No, the new ownership said, I'm not a football GM. We need to hire a football GM. We had Adam Peters come in. We took a risk on him. Obviously, it was paid off. Fantastic. We get a new coach, Dan Quinn. And to be frank, I wasn't really in love with that coach pick when it was done. Players love him. Players play their mind for him, play out of their mind for him. They do everything they can for him. Players absolutely love him as a coach. That locker room was probably, I would go on record to say, arguably, if not definitively, the best locker room in all of football this year. Just the synergy they had on that team. We're seeing that with the Washington Capitals right now. Spencer Carberry has really got that team tight, and that they go to battle for each other every single game. It's awesome. You see them come back. You saw that with the Washington football team. They might be down at the end, but they can get the ball in the hands of Jaden Daniels, and that team just believes that they can win every single game, and every single play they believe they can win, and they will put everything they have into those plays. And you see that. Some of it's luck, sure. The Hail Mary pass that Jaden Daniels made against the Bears, was there luck involved? Absolutely. There's luck in every Hail Mary pass, for sure. It's probably luck in every play, but there's absolutely luck in every Hail Mary pass. But if they didn't believe in it, they wouldn't have been able to get there to make that pass. And I'm a big believer that when you put good out, good comes back. If you put bad out, bad comes back. You look at what the Bears defender that was taunting the crowd for that Hail Mary, he didn't set the team up for the right kind of karma there, right? The Commanders, Washington football team did. It's awesome. So we said we had new ownership. We got Adam Peters as GM. We got a new head coach that just really knows how to get the players going. And then this GM and the head coach draft really good players. Jaden Daniels is amazing. And again, I'll be wrong. I wasn't super excited about Jaden Daniels. I was like, I don't know, he's kind of thin. I'm a little worried about his durability, and they're still worried about his durability. But he's got something. He has the things you cannot teach. He's got the commitment. He's unflappable. He believes in himself. He believes in his players. He's not dramatic. Good or bad, plays over, he goes to the bench and he sits there and stares. Doesn't get all worked up. He'll go, if somebody fumbled the ball, he'll go support them and tell them it's okay and you did the best you could and all that kind of stuff. Keep people in the game. But how important is that leadership? How important is the top? The top is the most important. The best players in the world. You see this. Let's take the Browns as an example, right? Browns have a lot of skilled players on their team. You take the Jets, Aaron Rodgers. They got a lot of skilled players on their team. The top down. Skilled players, they're not working together. They're not working with each other because there's nobody motivating them and leading them to do so. So organizationally, the top down every single time. You can figure out the rest, but the top down, hard work, belief, high standards, that's what it takes. That parallel goes outside of football. Obviously, I'm thinking business, I'm thinking life, I'm thinking, any kind of, but really business from, that leadership. It really is the CEO down and how important that is. It was really sad to see the Commanders Washington football team lose on Sunday versus the Eagles. Season was way better than anything we could have ever expected or hoped going into it. So I can't be that upset. It was disappointing. I'm still really happy, really excited for the future of this team. We have our guy in Jaden Daniels. We have our ownership. We have our GM. We have our coach. Players are going to want to play here now. That's the huge difference. Under the old leadership, players didn't want to play here. Now players want to play here because they see the motivation, the momentum, the leadership that this team has. Birdseeds, Joe Bird, thanks for listening. Have a wonderful day.